Welcome to Wolhobby's Advent Project 2025. It is so exciting. Every year on November 1st, I launch my Advent project for that year. This is my 6th year in a row that I'm designing something for Advent, and this year the workload is particularly low. Usually I design for a workload of around 1,000 stitches per day. But this year we are going to knit a Moebius cowl. Moebius or Mobius, both is okay. And we're going to knit a Moebius cowl, and that is a cowl that has a nice twist to it. And if you have all your stitches on the needle, you work your way this way and that way at the same time. And every stitch that is knit on this side will appear as a purl on that side. That all goes automatically. It is such a clever way to knit a cowl. And I made an instruction where I explain more about the shape. I show you how to do the cast on and how to knit the first round. And once you have done that, you will be all set for December 1st. All these smart things that I'm about to tell you are not something I came up with myself. One of my big knitting heroes, Kat Bordy, she passed away several years ago, but she was an excellent Mobius knitter, very clever in her designs. Go check her out. And she had a same kind of instruction as I am going to show you in a minute. So together with this recording is the mail, of course, with the materials list, the amount of yarn that you need, a little more explanation, and let's just start the instruction and get it going. I want to thank you for being here. It would be no point in designing an Advent project if you were not knitting along, so thank you so much, and I hope we will have a wonderful Advent period together with a nice, beautiful Mobius cowl that will be finished on Christmas Eve. So, how does this Mobius thing actually work? I am going to demonstrate with a piece of paper. If we were to tape this piece of paper together like this, we would have something that looks like a regular cowl, doesn't it? It has an inside and an outside, and it has a top and a bottom. So how does this Mobius thing actually work? I'm going to demonstrate it with this piece of paper. If I were to tape this piece of paper together like this, we would have something that looks like a regular cowl, right? And it has an outside, an inside, a top and a bottom edge. Does the Mobius have the same things? Let's check it out. I'm going to start with a little star here. And now I'm going to write a sentence. Oh, this piece of paper is not long enough. But let's see. Okay, so I wrote a really long sentence which didn't fit my piece of paper. If I hold it like this, we would end up with something funny, right? A festive way to pre-star. That's silly. But if I'm going to turn this around like this and I'm going to tape it, just a second. Okay, then we end up with this interesting shape. Now, would I be able to read the entire sentence without leaving the top edge? Let's see. We have our star. Wolhobby's Advent project is a fun and festive way to prepare for the holiday season and enjoy a new project at Christmas time. I stayed on the top edge the entire time. I'm going to hold on to it. I'm going to work my way around. And I don't have to leave the top edge to make it to the end of the sentence. This is the natural way how a Mobius would want to lie around your neck and shoulders. So it folds here like this, and it has a very nice and fitting flow to it. So this Mobius project is very peculiar indeed, because it doesn't have two sides and two edges. It only has one. But how can we knit this? Now, what do we need for this holiday Advent project? First of all, of course, you need your yarn. DK weight yarn, you need about 150 grams. I'm using my buttermilk colorway so that everything I do and show you is easy to see. Then you need a needle size 7, 47 inches, 120 centimeters, 4.5 millimeter. Don't go shorter. Don't think I have an 80 centimeters or whatever that is in inches. Don't do it. You will regret it. I always have a crochet needle present. In the end, you have to weave in some ends, so make sure that you have a tapestry needle. You need stitch markers. A lot. I am using these little ring stitch markers. You need a special beginning of round marker that is different than your stitch markers. Scissors is always nice to have. That's about it, I think. Let's do the cast on, which is a special one. The reason you need a long needle is because this is how you are going to work. So you need a long enough circumference that your needle tips actually meet. The Moebius or Mobius cast on, I'm using both all the time, so excuse me for that, starts with a slip knot. And the slip knot goes onto your needle and about to the middle of your cable. Then you are going to make a loop like this. This needle end, this one, does nothing. You can just let it be. You pick up your tail end and you hold it together with your cable and your needle tip. And now we are going to start the Mobius cast on. With this needle tip, you go under the cable, up through the middle and pick up the yarn. And then you pick up the yarn from back to front. You have 2 stitches on the needle and 2 stitches on the cable. One of them is the slip knot. And you only count the stitches that land on the needle. So you're going to cast on 128 stitches on the needle, which at the same time will give you 128 stitches on the cable. Okay, here we go again. To the front, up, pick up your yarn and pick up your yarn. And then you secure it with your index finger on the needle. 4 stitches. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Twenty-one, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 128 stitches. Now, you are going to spread out your stitches all across your needle. And you are going to make sure that your needle tips meet in the middle to start knitting in a minute. Like so. But before we start knitting, we need to make absolutely sure that we are, let's see, this goes here. You need to make sure that you don't have a twist in your work. And you are going to do that by seeing that the cables and the stitches are neatly lined up. Don't do this on your lap. Take your time, sit down at the table, put your knitting flat on the table. Once you know everything is in the right place, you take your beginning of round marker and you put it on the needle. And now it's time to knit the first round. For the first half of the stitches, it works a tiny bit different. I will show you what I mean. So this is the slip knot that it magically appeared at the needle tip while we started it in the middle of the cable. You knit the slip knot and now you see that you have a triangle here. you see that you have a triangle here with the leading leg in front. It doesn't matter, you don't have to remember anything but go into the triangle and knit a stitch. So here we have a new triangle with the leading leg in front. You go into the triangle and knit the stitch. Here they are a bit clumped up, so I need to be sure that I have my triangle ready, like so. Go in and knit it. Into the triangle and knit it. And every time I've knitted 8 stitches, let's see. You place a little marker. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then you place a marker. Oops. I'm going to speed this up a little, so you don't have to listen to me count and see me knitting really slowly, but I will get back to you once we are at the middle point. And look what happens now. I made it back to my beginning of round marker, only it's not on the place where I can take it off the needles. It is on the cable in between. From here on out, your stitches will be just stitches. So you don't have to worry about the triangles anymore. You can just knit every stitch until you end up at the beginning of round marker where you can actually take it off. I am at the point where I can take off my beginning of round marker. So now you have knitted 1 round, so around, and then you get to the point where you actually finished an entire round. The beginning of round marker goes back on the needles. Put some cute wintry needle stoppers on there, and you will be all set for December 1st. Bye bye!